What if we told you the next Cold War isn't coming? It's already begun. Behind the headlines, nations are drawing new battle lines, not just with weapons, but with chips, data, alliances, and influence. The US and China are locking horns. Russia is defying the West, and the world is quietly dividing once again. But this time it's faster, smarter, and far more dangerous. So, will this moment spark a global confrontation unlike anything we've seen before? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might change how you see the world forever. Rising tensions on a global scale in recent years, the world has entered a new phase of strategic rivalry. The United States is reinforcing its military, alliances in the Indo-Pacific, expanding NATO's reach in Europe, and tightening controls on advanced technologies. Meanwhile, China is becoming more assertive in the South China Sea, strengthening ties with Russia and openly preparing for potential conflict over Taiwan. These moves are not isolated. They're signals of a deeper shift in global power. Russia, despite sanctions and international condemnation, is forging closer ties with authoritarian regimes and testing the West's resolve in Ukraine. At the same time, countries like Iran and North Korea are capitalizing on the chaos to pursue their own agendas. These parallel crises are fueling instability, while new regional alliances are forming outside of the traditional Western bloc. From BRICS to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the world is no longer dominated by a single superpower. What we're witnessing is the return of bloc politics, but in a far more complex, interconnected world. And that's what makes this moment so dangerous. A single diplomatic breakdown or military miscalculation could trigger a chain reaction across continents. The Cold War may have ended decades ago, but the logic behind it is returning, with a vengeance. The rise of new alliances and global realignment as old alliances show signs of fatigue. New ones are rising in unexpected places. China and Russia are positioning themselves as leaders of an alternative global order, one that rejects the dominance of the West. Through the BRICS Plus expansion, energy deals, and joint military exercises, they're building a coalition that challenges the traditional power structures led by the United States and its allies. At the same time, countries like India, Brazil, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia are walking a tightrope. These swing states are refusing to pick sides, instead leveraging both East and West to secure their own economic and geopolitical gains. In a multipolar world, neutrality becomes power, and these nations know it. Their decisions could tip the balance in future conflicts or reshape entire regions. This fragmentation of global unity is perhaps the most dangerous aspect of our time. Unlike the binary Cold War of the past, today's rivalries are layered, ambiguous, and harder to contain. Economic interdependence blurs loyalties, information warfare clouds the truth, and beneath it all, the world is inching closer to a permanent state of strategic tension, one where the next global crisis might not come with a warning. A new kind of Cold War, digital, silent, and unpredictable. Unlike the Cold War of the 20th century, today's power struggle isn't just about missiles and ideologies. It's about data, algorithms, and control over the digital world. Nations are racing to dominate in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and satellite technology. The battlefield is now in cyberspace, where silent attacks on infrastructure, financial systems, and public trust can cause chaos without a single shot fired. State-sponsored hacking, surveillance networks, and disinformation campaigns have become powerful tools of influence. China's Great Firewall and Russia's propaganda machines are just the beginning. In this new era, wars can be fought through viral videos, fake news, and digital sabotage. The goal isn't just to win battles, it's to control the narrative, shape minds, and weaken societies from within. This makes the threat harder to detect and even harder to stop. Military deterrence worked during the old Cold War, but in a world where the enemy can be a line of code, a leaked email, or a botnet attack, traditional strategies no longer apply. We are entering an era of permanent, low-level conflict, where any spark, even digital, could spiral into something far greater. The warning signs are clear. The world is fragmenting, alliances are shifting, and global tensions are rising, not with open war, but with quiet, strategic moves that mirror the earliest days of the Cold War, but this time the game is faster. And the consequences could be even more devastating. If we are indeed heading into a new era of global confrontation, the stakes have never been higher. That's why you need to stay informed. Subscribe now and hit the bell, because in this new Cold War, knowledge is your greatest weapon.